And now the journey reaches a stage where everything begins to feel less chaotic and more controlled. Because this is where mastery starts to take shape. Not as a single skill, but as a combination of awareness, discipline, timing, and precision, all working together in a way that allows you to not just participate in the system, but to quietly control your position within it. And this level of control is what separates creators who grow occasionally from those who grow consistently without depending on luck. At this point, you are no longer reacting to results. You are anticipating them because you have seen enough patterns, tested enough ideas, and studied enough outcomes to understand how different types of content behave, how audiences respond, and how the algorithm distributes your post based on early engagement signals. And this predictive awareness gives you an advantage that most creators never fully develop. Now imagine posting content with confidence, not because you are hoping it will perform well, but because you understand why it should perform well, because your hook is strong, your delivery is clear, your structure is optimized, and your timing is aligned with your audience activity. And this combination creates a level of consistency that feels almost effortless from the outside, but is actually built on deep understanding and repeated refinement. This is where systems become your strongest asset. Instead of creating content randomly, you operate within a structured workflow, where ideas are planned, content is batched, captions are intentional, and posting is consistent. And this system removes pressure, reduces stress, and allows you to focus more on quality and creativity instead of constantly starting from zero every day. But here is where the deeper insight comes in. Systems do not limit creativity, they enhance it. Because when the process becomes smooth and predictable, your mind is free to explore better ideas, stronger hooks, and more impactful storytelling without being overwhelmed by the basics of execution. Now let's talk about adaptability, because mastery does not mean rigidity, it means flexibility within structure. It means understanding when to follow your system and when to adjust based on new patterns, new trends, or changes in audience behavior, and this ability to adapt without losing your foundation is what keeps your growth stable over time. Because the platform evolves, the audience evolves, and your strategy must evolve with it. Now we move into advanced consistency. At this level, consistency is no longer about frequency alone. It is about maintaining a standard, delivering quality repeatedly, and ensuring that every piece of content meets a certain level of clarity, value, and engagement potential. And this level of consistency builds trust not just with your audience but also with the algorithm itself. Because when your content consistently performs well, Instagram begins to expect quality from your account. And that expectation increases your chances of being pushed to wider audiences. Now imagine your account reaching a point where every post has a baseline performance, where even your average content performs better than most creators' best content. And this stability creates confidence because you are no longer dependent on viral moments to grow. You are building steady, reliable momentum. Now let's go deeper into optimization at scale. Because at this stage, small improvements create large results. Slight adjustments in your hook can increase retention. Small changes in your caption can increase engagement. Minor improvements in your visuals can increase shareability. And these micro-optimizations, when applied consistently, create a compounding effect that strengthens your entire content strategy. But optimization requires attention. It requires you to stay aware of what is working, what is changing, what is improving, and this continuous observation keeps your system sharp. Now we shift into something even more powerful: control over your creative direction. Because many creators lose control as they grow, they start chasing trends, reacting to competition, adjusting their content based on external pressure, and slowly, they lose their original identity. And when identity is lost, growth becomes unstable. But mastery means staying aligned with your core message, your niche, your purpose, even as you evolve, even as you experiment, even as you grow. Because identity is what anchors your growth. Now imagine combining structure, adaptability, consistency, optimization, and identity into one system. A system that not only produces content but produces results consistently. And this is where Instagram stops feeling unpredictable and starts feeling manageable. But even at this level, the journey continues. Because in the next part, we will move into long-term dominance, how to maintain your position, how to stay ahead of competition, and how to build a presence so strong that it continues to grow even in changing environments, even as new creators enter the space and the platform evolves further. And this is where the final layers of the system begin to reveal themselves, where growth becomes less about effort and more about precision, less about chasing and more about maintaining control over everything you have built so far.